Since 2015, from nightlife hosting, the Clash Battle Leagues, contributions to the Ohio Entertainment Awards, Set It Up Promotions, the Ola Festival 2023, and work on the award-winning podcast, Can't Knock the Pod, Lisette Encarnacion has become one of the most sought-out talents in the country. It's time to give her flowers. Please help me welcome Lisette Encarnacion.
The Queen Lisette is with me, man. What's going on with you, sis?
How are you?
And I don't do this to every guest, but give me love.
You know, we real life friends.
For real,
real life
man.
supporters, that exist around here.
They do, man. Man, it's just great to see everything that you're doing. A quick, brief synopsis of why I'm giving people their flowers. I feel like I've reached a point in my career now where I just want to show more love than anything.
Yeah.
I want to actually give flowers than actually always getting them.
You do, because they love you.
I appreciate that.
We love you.
I really do. But I just felt because of everything that you do, don't get me wrong, in this area or in this region, period, a lot of people are great, working and hosting, etc. But when I walk in here and I see awards everywhere, I'm like, I got to give this woman her flowers.
I like to show my stuff off.
As you should. You realize how hard it is to do what you do? Everybody just can't go into a club scene and host.
Yeah,
Like, I hosted the G League. That stuff is hard.
It's hard to remember. When it's like a free-spirited place like that, it's easy. But put me in front of a reception or a wedding, I'm like a deer in headlights. Like,
I understand, but take me back a little bit. Like, when did all of this begin for you?
Wow. It's going to show my age here. I don't care, though. I would say, so my first, actually, to be honest, 2015. I would say 2015 was the first time I really stepped out to host, which was 10 years ago.
It just goes by so fast, don't it?
So fast, because I remember exactly how nervous I was. I remember where I was. I remember what I wore. I remember what it was for. It was my first time ever, and shout out to Fleet, my manager, friend, brother. But he really, he pushed the envelope with me. So 2015 at Liquid Blue was my first time hosting.
I remember Liquid Blue.
Man, we had some good times there.
A lot of people did.
Shout out to Fantasy Fridays, Dizzy Hendrix, Kid Lou. Hey.
I remember there was so much activity going on weekends during that time. You had Liquid Blue. You
Downtown
had
36.
Downtown 36. You had Club 9. You had Warehouse. Like, you had so much going on
In that time,
But the person who was always at the forefront of everything was you, though. And if you could take me back through, because obviously a lot of that stuff isn't even there now.
Right.
But if you could take me back to how that time period was for you.
Oh, it was different. It was more fun. It was more free. I was able to kind of learn myself and know what I like and what my peers like and what my friends like to go to and, drinks they like to drink and just the aura. I got to learn that part. It was fun though. It was different. People went out, we were younger. So we was like, let's go outside before outside was outside.
Man, what?
But we was outside for real. Like that was my college years. I had just came home. I went to YSU for a couple years and I stopped going. Just wasn't for me. And then I stepped into the realm with the hosting and, at the music showcase, that was my first thing where I really had a love for local artists. That's where it originally started. I really can't remember the bill or who was on there. I was MK Sharper from Warren, if I'm not mistaken. It was a couple people. Flood Gang was there back then. But that was my first time, and it was enjoyable. It was more enjoyable then, for me.
Oh, yeah, because when you first get started, it's fun.
Yeah.
But when you become a business and when you start to dabble in things behind the scenes, it does take a lot of the fun away.
Yeah, you start to see, the true colors of a lot of people. And, in the party promotion game, it was literally dominant men, So for a female to come in the game and kind of try to shake things up, some people didn't like it. Some people jumped on board, but some people didn't like it. And, I was competition at one point, but then I became friends with those, what do you call those people in the room that make sound, like make noise. You know what I mean? Like those room shakers.
Engineers.
Room shakers. No, room shakers. Like people in power to kind of move around and make the things happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like once I got friendly with them, it was kind of a cakewalk after that.
One of the main reasons why I wanted to highlight that is because people see everything that you're doing now.
Yeah.
But they didn't see the times when you were just now getting started.
Yeah.
They didn't see them times when you going from this party to that party. and still having to have somewhat of a life outside of that.
Yeah, because you have a regular working life, right? I had 2 jobs at the time, working at Foot Locker and BXI. Shout out to BXI, Youngstown. But
Of course, I worked at VXI.
of course, I'm working at BXI. But I'm telling you, that was able to push my forefront for me to kind of grow. Because I wasn't getting paid at a lot of these gigs early on. I had to prove myself. I had to show them like, hey, I can bring this many people. I can sell this many tickets. I can create this vibe with my friends and my peers and my associates and really show you what I could do. So there was a lot of L's that I took just to get on or break even, you know?
The L's are part of the journey.
Man,
a lot of people don't see the amount of rejection.
Right.
They don't see the amount of doors being slammed in your face.
Over
or,
and over.
You know, they don't see the amount of people that say, well, pass right now.
Yep, or lied to.
That too.
You know?
Because hate to say it like this, but we come from such a small area where everybody knows everybody.
Yep.
Everybody has either went to school together, our families connected some kind of way. So, you know, we can't front as if things are as glamorous, because when you know somebody, you're like, wait a minute, no, they're not really doing that.
Yeah.
But how are you able to even push past that?
Ooh, I'll never forget my true pushing past was when I had to leave my apartment. And literally what I was doing wasn't paying the bills at all. And because I was getting skimmed on a couple things, or because I wasn't making enough money at my job because I was so sick of it, you know, leaving the apartment and almost losing everything gave me my motivation and drive back to be more creative. Like, Lisette, you got it, and you need to push through it, and you need to figure it out before it's too late, because it's here. This was before social media was a big thing. You know what I mean? So, again, this was a long time ago, but I pushed through that, and that's what kind of motivated me. You know, I lost some business partners, I lost some friends along the way, but honestly, it kind of just molded me to know how to handle people first and foremost, because not everybody's your friend, nor is everybody in good graces of trying to see you grow. If anything, they want to hold you back because they want you to themselves. And that wasn't the case with me. You couldn't keep me in one box. I was everywhere, and I was meant to be everywhere, and that's what pushed me. So, you know, just kind of a jack of all trades at that point.
I feel like that's how we connected, because I would see you everywhere, and you know, this is gonna come as a shock to a lot of people, but I was a very private person. I didn't do as much.
That's true.
Because, you know, people, and I'll go ahead and address it. It's one of my shows. I can say what I want. Nobody's gonna cancel me. The coolest part about my journey is I knew how to kind of get out of those boxes. Because if you've been following me for however long you guys been following me, you've seen that I was doing all gospel stuff at first.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how I somewhat became known. But then I started to venture out, because I was always into sports and entertainment and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And that's how we were able to connect, because the jack of all trades, you know, like, how were you able to be so well-rounded and have success with it? Because that's not an easy thing to do.
Honestly, it was just trying to, you know, understand that you're free. Like, you're able to do what you need to do. I would have to say, again, I have to shout out to Fleet, because he really pushed me in limits that I didn't think I could achieve. Especially, like, after my mom passed away, it was just a lot of different things that I could have, you know, stepped back on and not do and gave up on. But he really pushed me to be a better person, especially, like, the people I worked with, like, you know, Elevate with Kev and them, and then, you know, it's a lot of different moving pieces that assisted me as far as the nightlife. You know what I mean? I don't know. It was just it. I just knew that was for me.
And it shows.
It was for me.
It literally showed, because the queen of nightlife is not an easy title to hold.
Not at all.
But somebody got to hold it.
Yeah.
And you've done it with such grace, and all the parties and all the venues and all the artists.
Yeah.
But what stood out to me about you, especially when people wanted to make it seem like you were a bad person, is how you're 10 toes down when it comes down to trying to support local artists. And you're trying to show love to everyone. That's not an easy thing to do.
It's not. It's a lot of adversity. It actually discourages you in a way when people see it from a different lens, or maybe they don't believe in what's going on, or it's too good to be true. They try to pull all these different entities out that doesn't make sense to them, because their mind isn't open. And for me, it was really hard to kind of move past that. And thank goodness to my honey, because he really was like, he taught me how to not to worry about things like that. You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about what they say. You doing something good. You know what I mean? Like, he really always has been my backbone since I've met him and been with him. And honestly, the ones who've always tried to pull the negative out. I hold you where you are. You know what I'm saying? You showed me who you were in that moment, whether we work together or not. It's never no bad blood. It's just more so like, I see you moving, do you, I'm gonna do me. If you need something from me, I'll try to assist. I'm never gonna blackball. I'm never gonna sit there and say, oh, you know, I don't think this person is that. That's not me, because I wouldn't want somebody doing that to me, even though they've already done it. You know, so for me, it's just moving forward and holding those people where they at. And if we work together, great. If not, I'm not losing no sleep.
You've moved forward with a lot of things in your career.
Yeah.
From starting out just hosting whatever kind of party it was.
Yeah.
To becoming somebody who is heavily affiliated with the OEAs.
Yeah.
And now here you are at Jules and More,
Yeah.
holding things down here. But the greatest title you have, despite all of that, is now you are the mom
Yes.
of a wonderful child. I can't say what the term that I know y'all say, because it ain't gonna sound good coming from me saying it.
What?
Now we gonna talk off camera by it. There we go. Y'all ain't about to get me on my show. I'm gonna just say moms. There we go.
Mommies.
Moms.
I got you.
Like how, like the joy that you have, even when I bring that up,
Yeah.
I see it. Like
Yeah.
how much does being a parent now mean to you?
If you would have asked me this question 5 years ago, I would have been like, man, I have no kids. Like having him, having baby Papo has changed my perspective on life, has changed my motivation and the reason why I need to do what I'm doing. Some of me has taken the background now more because I understand what my life means to him and to have me around. You know, the type of lifestyle that deals with entertainment and nightlife sometimes isn't so safe. And I've been in plenty of predicaments where, you know, things could have went south. But, you know, now it's more so trying to figure out what's for me and what makes sense, and allowing me to come home at night to him, you know what I'm saying, and my family. Having him has been a blessing. I've never in a million years thought that I would be a mom right now. Literally. Like, it's beautiful. And I love him.
I saw him I think it was at Mama's party a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And he just was in his own world. And I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I love seeing kids be kids.
Yeah,
It's so cool.
he's such a free spirit. You know, he's very free at the house. The house is like what it is, and he's just like, that's his territory. So we let him be so free at the house that he thinks he can do that everywhere. And you know, he gets a little obnoxious and he likes to dance, but then he also likes to throw tantrums, you know. It was a lot. I had to leave that party early.
Well, it happens.
Emilio was not playing with y'all.
He was
Shout to my mom.
He was in his own world though, man.
Yeah.
But the love you get from everywhere, you
Yeah.
know, it's a blessing because we all know people that can't get that.
Yeah.
And the reason why I bring that up is also because of this. To be somebody who's a powerhouse in their own lane is great.
Yeah.
But then when you start to collaborate with others, such as the work that you do on Can Octopod, take
Yes.
me through that.
Wow. It'll be 4 years as of 2 weeks ago. It was 4 years 2 weeks ago that I
goes
joined
by
Can
fast,
Octopod.
doesn't it?
Man, what? I said 4 years.
Man.
The team, Art and Chip have been Art especially has been just so open with me, being on the platform. Honestly, we've grown so much. We're on episode 187 as of tonight. You know what I mean? Like, it's really, honestly, it's probably one of the best experiences I've ever had to deal with, trying to be honest and as opinionated as I could be, and them allowing me to do that. They're allowing me to be as free as I can. Man, Can Octopod, I just love it. I love it there. I get to be me. They let me be me. And I've grown so close to them. We've known each other for years.
Oh, yeah.
You know, high school and parties and all these things. Like, we've done business with each other. We've actually had some business breakdowns where we were just like, forget you, you know. But
Happens.
you grow from that, you know what I mean? And once you get to know those people really deep down inside, it's like, oh yeah, like we should have been rocking together. You know, we've rocked together, but it wasn't as deep as a level like this. And that's just, I love them. I love them.
When you're doing a show like that or a podcast like that on a weekly basis, it's hard to not start to develop some type of personal bond with a person.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very hard thing because you spend time together for however amount of time y'all do the show, but then there's show prep.
Yeah.
People don't see the grind behind the scenes.
all.
Shout out to my brother Terrell by that. Terry, that's my guy right there.
The grind, man.
The grind. And the reason why I'll bring somebody like him up is because I see the kind of work that all of you do.
Yeah.
I see the kind of work that you do. I see the kind of work that he does, and Art and Chip and Jessica, and like Jessica
Yes,
from Vieira's
Jessica,
Vision,
that's my
who I love
girl.
dearly. And then, you know, I see all of these amazing entities, and
Yeah.
I just feel like because of how hard all of you guys work, it's not an easy thing. It's
Yeah.
not an easy thing to be the face of something. Like, I kid you not, every time I see, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna crack up when you hear this. Every time I see Mike, I like low key do something like this, talk about Mike Cotton.
Yeah.
Every single time I see it. And reason why is because, man, the dude is a king.
Man, what?
The dude is a king at what he does, and I just feel like because we're in a day and age now where it should be more accepting to give somebody flowers for their work. Yeah. I gotta give you your flowers for yours.
Thank you so much. That means a lot because, you know, especially when you don't see it or hear it for a while because you're so caught up in your own world. I'm a new mom. I'm doing all these other things that, you know, that's not really related to what I've been doing in the past. So it's like you tend to think like you're falling off and you're not able to move forward and be creative again. But that is so not true. It's not true. And for people like you, for your platform to give people like me those flowers, we need that. We need that motivation. We need that drive. We need that push where people feel like, well, where we feel like people still believe in us in a way. You know what I mean? Like be able to make some moves. And I don't know. It means a lot to me that you do this. And, you know, you put the spotlight on people and I think it's dope.
I got to, man. And, you know, you've always meant a lot to me. I'll share this quick story. I remember, I think it was a couple years ago in our very first interaction on Rookery. And it was yourself. It was Luck Penny.
I broke my ankle.
And say you did. That's the crazy part.
My ankle was broken.
It was in the flag football league, wasn't it?
Yeah, shout to Lee.
And I remember all of that because, like, you know, from our first interaction and, you know, ever since then, just been locked in. Yeah. And the amount of convos that we've had behind the scenes that obviously the world don't need to know about because it's none of their business. Woo. But you gonna forever be solid in my book.
Period.
Forever.
And that's what I appreciate.
Love you, Queen.
No, I love you too.
Give me love.
Thank you so much. This was fun. Make sure you guys accept the invite from the Chris Gunther Show because y'all don't know what y'all missing. Let's stop playing.